Hey y'all, hey, come on in, come on in. Shay Lifetime Story, and I'm back here again. So today I wanted to come talk to you guys and have a little chit chat because I know right now we're having Mercury in Leo. If you guys don't know, study astrology, you can see what's going on in the atmosphere, because as above is so below. So Mercury is in Leo, and this could be a very big tendency of wanting to communicate and express in your most creative way, right? And actually taking initiative to want to do this with like a charismatic gift behind it, where it's like you're going to do it regardless of people supporting you doing it. You just want to do it because you want to be seen in that way, in that form, in that ego, or in that reality, right? And so also, while talking about this Mercury and Leo, be very mindful about communicating very fast or very aggressively, because fire sign energy can put you in this energy where you could be coming off probably love and light or trying to help others, but the conversation may come off a little aggressive just because Mercury is the area where we communicate, and Leo is kind of like all eyes on me. So people can personally feel like you're putting all eyes on them based on whatever you're commentating about or whatever you're bringing up. Okay, so I wanted to talk a little bit about that before I actually talk on the topic of what I wanted to talk about today. And that's just kind of to give you a little pinpoint of why this topic is going to apply to that Mercury and Leo. Also, with Mercury and Leo, you have to be okay with learning to talk to yourself. Leo deals with 5, but 5 is understanding the awareness outside of yourself, but still understanding who you are. It's like, you know, you could go outside of yourself and receive help and support from those in your surroundings, but also understand that you can support yourself with your internal knowing of whatever is important to you, right? Or whatever you feel like is in alignment for you to go after, right? And so today, the topic that I want to talk about is turn it off. Okay? Just take your time to turn everything off. That's including your phone. That's including your phone is a part of your social media. Turn it off. Turn your TV off. Turn your music off. Get into this solitude, this space of creating some room for solitude, right? And the reason I want to talk about turn it off is because one of the things I've been studying and really trying to work to understand is understanding emotional elevation, right? And understanding how does that actually work and how is that affecting us on a daily basis, right? And so one thing I've been studying when it comes to emotional elevation is it is a act of humans using their remorse emotion to hold space for something outside of them, right? And so one way you can see this is an example of your emotions being elevated by something or someone outside of you. Prime example is most likely a lot of times in church or communities where there is some form of practice, a lot of times people can feel a shift in their energy based on the music that they're hearing in that room or in that ceremony. Also at times where people are being prayed over, whether they're doing whatever practices they're choosing to engage into their church or room or wherever they at. Whenever you're allowing someone outside of you to speak over your life or engage on pulling a certain energy from you, in the same way that you will be pulling it from yourself if you have more control for yourself, you're giving your power to someone else, right? And so this is why I started off with the first thing I said is turn it off. Turn off wanting to be very codependent with other people pulling on your emotional feelings for you to see how you truly feel, and understanding that when you turning all of these things off, turning off these ideas or these ways of you showing your way of being emotional and choosing your own way to be emotional, you will bring up a new form of emotion that you may not even realize had exist for you, right? And so one thing I was recently studying is the music industry, and I was studying how a lot of music artists are using emotions to pull out their group or crowd of people who they could connect with, and that's how they're building up their foundation off of your emotions being poured into whatever they're creating, because they have that same emotion within themselves. So this is why you can see a lot of artists go from, sometimes they could go to very depressing and low level energy in their songs, and then in the next moment they'll have more music or more things that involve with being more engaged into whatever is supposed to be uplifting them, or talking about whatever they're engaged in that can bring them some type of sanity, or them actually taking the initiative to be responsible for something. This is what you see in the culture of the music industry. And so just you seeing that by example, that the shift between their music is changing, that's one sign for you guys to understand that emotions are being elevated. Emotions are being elevated. They're being pushed to a space outside of you, but your energy is being pulled in together to kind of co-create their reality, or whatever it is that they're singing about. Or, and this is not even only singer, this is people who produce movies, these are people who produce anything that involves you in giving your own emotion or time to it, right? And so when you choose to put all your focus on something else that is built outside of you, why do you choose to make that a part of your reality? Because one thing you have to realize is music, movies, religion, and TV and phones are just here to play on some part of your emotions. And I'm not saying that like these things are not things that we shouldn't be engaging in to help us elevate, but it's understanding the discipline you have when it comes to you engaging into using these tools, right? Because this is the thing that you don't understand. Because these things, these group of things that I listed, have such a big hold on our emotion, they can trigger us. They literally can trigger us in so many different ways. Do you know that even having a cell phone right now triggers a lot of people? Because back then there was no phones, but society done put us in this space where now we don't have to remember numbers because we have a phone that's always in our pocket. Back then the culture had to write numbers down, or put that bitch in a pen and pad, or put that bitch in a beeper, just enough to be responsible enough to even remember the damn numbers. So it's like they had to use what they had around them to keep up with the number. Now everything is right in the pen pad, right in your pocket, in your hand, on your Apple Watch. Okay, and I got an Apple Watch, so I understand that perspective. So it's, society is making things be more accessible for us, but it's just too easy. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I say turn it off, take it off of you. As you can see, I don't got mine on. I'm turning off, I take it off of me so I can be in tune with myself. You feel me? Because when you allow these things to cause you to be in some type of distraction, they're able to hijack you. And hijacking you is not as big as you think. It's just they're able to hijack your emotion. Because it's like this. You can come in a space, say you're in an audience of a concert or a crowd or something, and you projecting that, hey, this thing finna be fun, I'm finna have fun, it's finna be turned up, and then the person come out there and they singing something that's so sad and depressing. You telling me out of the group you not finna pull on that energy where there's 100 people around you going to continue to pull on that same energy or whatever they singing. You're gonna fall into that hijack. Now, if you have more power and control over yourself, you may be able to take the responsibility of protecting yourself during that time and not allow your emotions to be triggered or go as far as those in your surroundings, but you could still give and receive energy in a way that's going to protect you and others. Because the thing about giving energy to things, like I said, you could go and watch TV, you could go and engage into these things. It's just understanding the boundaries about how much you're going to involve in it. Because like I always tell y'all, if you're not emotionally stable, it's hard for you to process things in your life. It's hard for you to get focused and grounded on what is actually important to you, because you're so triggered about things that you're probably either holding in or you're not taking responsibility to put some focus on, right? And so I wanted to talk about this because I think it's very important that we understand that you have to take charge of your own emotions. You have to take charge and remember you're the one who focuses on being in certain feeling, to be upset about something and to be depressed about something. And a lot of times I don't think people understand that. Even if you walk around here and tell people, hey, it's your fault that I'm this way, and hey, it's your fault that this and that, you got to remember you put in the power for that person to be responsible for whatever's going on with you. You put in that power in their hand by saying it. When you got to remember the power belongs to you at first. So you can't continue to put yourself in this space where you are now allowing people outside of you to control your emotions, when your emotions should always be controlled by you. And so you have to understand that external projection of like sad and angriness is just you understanding that you're going through your ups and downs. And that's okay. Because when you're in moments where you could be going through times where you're in your ups and downs, the first thing I want to tell y'all is to breathe. Okay, like breathe. And I don't know about y'all and where y'all at, but a lot of people could be experiencing a lot of sinus issue where they're not able to breathe through their nose and their throat is hurting or whatever. And I believe that a lot of that come from us not being grateful for actually using these tools on a daily basis. And that's why breath work is so initiative, so that you can open these muscles up so they don't clog up with mucus. And understanding when you breathing through your nose and your mouth, you're allowing yourself to relieve certain stress and toxins out of your body that no longer serve you. So if you feel like you're going through anxiety or depression or upset, take a moment to breathe. Y'all know I've been getting on y'all about doing this 5-minute breathing meditation for yourself, 5 minutes a day, whether you're journaling or you're actually in a meditation where you're not doing anything. Like I said before, turn it all off. Be initiative and taking in that energy and analyzing yourself. If you feel an emotion, feel it. Feel that upsetness. Feel that depression. Write it out. Say how you feel. But allow yourself to use that energy to help you elevate yourself to wherever you're trying to go, to expand yourself in so many amazing ways, okay? Because when you allow these emotions to hijack you, you know what happened? You play out those energies. So instead of you realizing you angry and taking initiative to put yourself more in a gratitude space, I forgot to mention that as well when you do meditation. Practice spending time on gratitude. If you want, spend those 5 minutes speaking everything you're grateful for. I don't care if you feel like you don't have much to be grateful for. Repeat those same little bitty things that you feel like you got to be grateful for. Repeat that over and over again until you don't know 5 minutes. Okay, because whatever you intentionally focus on, like I said, we're in Mercury and Leo. That's what you're giving attention to, my love. And so, however you want to see your life and you feel like it's best fit for you, speak that over your life. If you don't want to be emotionally triggered anymore, speak over not wanting to be emotionally triggered anymore and taking a responsibility to analyze your own emotion. Because the emotional triggers or the emotional elevation that we go through is because we give responsibility to others outside of us. Bump the emotional trigger. The emotional elevation is because you're allowing things outside of you to elevate your emotion without even with your agreement. Because you're okay with agreeing with feeling this type of way, whether if it's happiness, it's joy, it's optimism, it's being creative, and whatever these emotions is. I think a lot of times we think emotions is probably just sad and anger, and that's not the only emotions we have. Those are not the only emotions we have, and you have to be okay with even going through those last two bases, because some of that energy that you guys may be thinking you're feeling and you feel like it's a part of you, it's just a part of your DNA, and you could go ahead and allow that subconscious to let that go, baby. Okay, so I love y'all. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. Go ahead and enjoy your 4th of July weekend, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.